All right, here we go.
Yours is real echoey, Eddie. It
Oh,
is not. It's not. I'm just
all
joking.
right. Well, they're good. No, because I was having those issues. Good
I
morning
know.
and what's up, profitable stylist? Here we go. We got a special guest with us this week. We have Jessi Marshall from America's Beauty Show. She is the director of education. She is in charge of the entire show's events, coordinating
In
events.
charge.
In charge. This is the boss lady.
I
Good
like that
morning,
word.
Jessi.
So, hey,
Good
Jesse,
morning.
who are you? What's your title?
Hello, how
What
are
do you
you?
do?
So, Jessi Marshall, Director of Education and Events for America's Beauty Show. So, like Eddie said, if anything you want to learn, sit down, take in at the show, I'm the one that's coordinating it all for you. So, we're really excited. We've got only about 275 classes for you to choose from at the show
Only
this year. So,
only
only.
275 classes.
That is a lot. How many are going on
Yes,
at the
yes.
same time? So that's over 3 days, right?
Over 3 days, we've got 3 stages. We've got 27 classrooms, everything from hands-on education to the full runway, main stage, full entertainment experience, technical education. We've got hair, skin, nails, makeup, you name it, you can find it at America's Beauty Show this year.
That is wild. That is so wild. Now I know we have a private classroom for the weekend. We're gonna have all 3 days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and we are going to be teaching 4 classes for each day. And that's, I mean, you got to describe, Jessi, because people maybe they don't realize when they walk into that hall, it's not back in the day. It was the education was on the show floor and they just roped it off and put a couple of backdrop curtains and we just had a couple of tables.
Yes,
We should talk a little
by the
bit.
way, you're dating all of us because
I'm
we
dating,
all
no,
remember
I'm
that.
dating myself. I'm dating myself.
I was going to go even further back and say when I first started, the first hair show I was ever on stage at, the big experience was in New York, and it was the IBS, and then went down to Premier Orlando, and then I'm coming to Chicago, and it was what was it called way back then? The Midwest
The
Beauty.
Midwest show.
Midwest Beauty,
The
yeah.
Midwest show.
Yes.
Yep.
And then the three letters are just so much easier to remember. ABS, America's Beauty Show, and I don't know. It was huge. It was very, very big way back when. And then all shows seemed to take a little bit of a dip before COVID. COVID wiped everybody out for a little bit, and I think everybody's growing back from that. Do you have anything to say just about like where is the show industry at now because of that, or in spite of
No,
that?
absolutely. I would say we're coming back in a really big way. Actually, I just looked at our ticket report from where we were at this date. We're actually 59 days out from the show right now. No pressure to anyone who's still trying to get their stuff put in. Um, so
Buy your
59 days out
ticket.
last year, we are, yeah, we're 300% ahead of where we were last year. So we are
Wow.
anticipating at this point, last year we were just at pre-COVID numbers, and we are actually anticipating like close to 20,000 attendees this year.
Oh,
So
that is awesome.
that is above pre-COVID numbers. Industry, I think, like you said, the industry was taking a little bit of a step back before everything happened with COVID. Obviously, COVID changed everything. But what we found coming back, though, is really interesting is that we've got education. I mean, great for me. Education is really the premise of where everyone is when they're coming back to trade shows. And they're not looking at them. This is great. They're having the one-on-one on the computers and stuff, but we're a hands-in industry. We want to touch, we want to feel. So they want to go in and they want to see the products. They want to get the mannequin heads out. They want to touch the hair of the models. They want to go in and see what's happening and ask the questions as it's happening in front of them. So we're seeing a huge shift in that the education piece and the face-to-face learning is really what's driving the shows coming back out of the COVID pandemic.
We were just having a meeting yesterday of some of the planning of what we will talk about in order, what will make sense, what are the questions, a little experience we've had from a couple of smaller shows we did just this last year. And one of the things that came, I guess I take a lot for granted with my own company. And so some of the social media friends of mine that are helping us with our social media growth and marketing growth, they were like, okay, so if hair quality and touching is so important to clients or hairdressers, will you have hair just displayed for them to touch? I said, I wasn't planning on it, but that's a great idea. Just hair out in front on racks, because when I put hair out in a class, that's the first thing everybody's doing. They want to pet the hair.
Mm-hmm. No, and we actually have a brand that we were talking to that is doing something fairly similar. They are going to bring in models focused on texture. So models with different textures of hair, and then they're going to have their hair dry. Then they're going to go wet their hair. And this is what that texture feels like wet. This is what it feels like in the hair drying process. The whole thing. It really is, not only do we want to touch our clients, we want to know what we're doing. We want to touch, feel, and just get right, get in everyone's business,
I think hairdressers love
to hear that, because it's just with the amount of classes that I've been teaching, hands-on and in person, that's everybody's requesting. Just when do you have a next class? Is it in person? Like that's the immediate follow-up. Say, yes, we do. Is it in person? Like, yes, it is. Oh my gosh. So yeah, the interest, the value and the interest is definitely there.
Well, and we're even finding online education is here to stay. It had a huge, not even resurgence, a huge growth during COVID, and it's here to stay. But what I'm really seeing is that it's being used as the teaser. Like, here is the quick snippet of what you're going to be learning, and then using that to tease, whether it's at a trade show or at a manufacturer show, a distributor event, using that to really, get people to come in and have that live experience all over again. And social media is amazing. It has grown. It's the primary marketing tool now for all businesses. But for us, we need to be able to balance out that online learning with the in-person learning, and I think that's really what our industry is striving to have again.
Break it down. What's the difference between the workshop, the look and learns, and the what's the third thing?
Well, first of all, tell us how many categories are there.
Categories?
How many categories? Of
what he's trying to
education.
What he's trying to name. Yeah. What are they?
Yeah. So we have, we'll start small and we'll go big. So we have look and learn classes. So those are write it all down, everybody. Those are you sit in a larger classroom. You've got the educator on stage. They are demonstrating a technique, talking about their product, 50 minutes to an hour. It's really to tease you, to get you excited about what it is that they're presenting. And really, I look at it this way, is going, you're not going to be able to learn an entire service in that, but you might sit there and go, oh my gosh, I never would have thought about using that foil placement before. Right. I never would have thought about using, turning my model this way. So the idea is to get that snippet that you can take and really learn from. Next level up is our workshops. Our workshops we have some that are, business oriented, we have some that are hands-on, and we have some that are expanded look and learns. So those are 2 to 4 hours depending on what the class is. And that's where you get your mannequin head and you bring your tools. Tools are provided sometimes by the brand, and you're actually getting in there and you are doing an entire technique or service beginning to end. And we have everything from haircutting to color to waxing, makeup, massage, you name it. We've got the whole gamut. And that's also some really great in-depth business workshops in there. So no mannequin head, bust out that paper, but that's where you're going to really learn about profitability in your business and, marketing techniques. We have a ton of education this year that's focused on content creation. We found, the terminology is switching from a social media influencer to a content creator, and
I've noticed
seeing how, and how what we're also seeing, there's a shift from this is my words, not anyone else's, what I call TikTok personalities. We have amazing stylists in our industries who are on TikTok, And they might be talking about hair, but it's really their personalities and talking about what's happening in the salon and behind the chair that's driven their popularity. And they want to transition more into TikTok technique artists, where their focus is really about teaching and educating. And so we're seeing a change there where people are wanting to have that education of where they're not just sitting there with their phone in front of them talking about what's happening in the salon. They're actually talking about, oh, this is how I created this look. Because 9 times out of 10, it's a look that got them the TikTok or the social media following. It's a beautiful pixelated hair, or it's Vivids or something like that. And then they came and grew from there. And then you also have our stages. So those are our bigger production pieces. So we've got 3 stages at the show this year, which I'm super excited about. We have the beauty innovation stage. That is we'll say it's intimate in that it's still 200 and some people in the room, but it's very education focused. It doesn't have the bells and whistles of the moving lights and the fog machines and all of that. It's where you go when you want to really get in and see what they're doing. I mean, and like I said, we have everything from, we have panels of education there where great on the main stage, but at the same time, if you want to sit there and really listen to what someone's talking about on a panel, sometimes it's nice to have a little bit quieter room. We have waxing demonstrations, we have cutting demonstrations, but we're giving you the opportunity, to take your phone and go right up to that artist and take the picture and ask the questions. Oh, then when you go on to the show floor, we've got our 2 stages, the barber connection. So very much focused to the men and women who are focused on barbering and, the clipper tools, the shears, all of that. So we've taken a section of the stage and we're actually building it out to an old school barber shop. Wood flooring, old school barber stations, kind of actually mimicked it after my great grandfather's station barber shop back in the day. And then the main stage. Yes. And then we've got the main stage, as most people call it, but it's what we call the runway at ABS. That is the whole bells and whistles, the moving lights, the full runway. This is where you have the bigger brands up there, and they're walking their models. It is what I call, it's edutainment. It's as much education as it is the music and the models. And so you're definitely learning a ton on that. And that's where you go when you really want that inspiration. But guess what? Most of the people that you're going to see on there, you're going to get that great inspiration on the stage. You're also going to see them in the booth, in the classrooms, where you can really dig in deep with them after and get more information about what it is that they're showing on there. So big to small, intimate to full-blown party, we've got everything for you.
I like that. Can you, is there any breakdown that we're not thinking about between the 3 days? Is there something that happens different day by day?
We really have tried to make it so it is, whether you go Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, you get great opportunities. Yes, there are some artists who might only be on stage one day, but they're going to be in the classrooms on the other day, or vice versa. Really pulling away from that idea where it's like, oh, Saturday is for the salon owners because everyone else is behind the chair. Monday is for students. We have opportunities regardless of what day you can go, because we also know the typical or the old school model of closed on Sunday and Monday isn't the case anymore. And right. Stylists are now working, at the schedules that they want. So we want to make sure we've got opportunities. The only real difference is we don't open until 11 on Saturday. We open at 9 on Sunday and Monday. So,
okay.
Yeah, because Friday is set up and your back hurts after setup on the booth.
That's just you, exactly. Eddie.
That's just me.
I'm showing up as the talent. I'm just going to show up to.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah. Bernard's going to be live streaming.
The feet in the back hurt from beginning to end.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
I've been seeing the chiropractor. I'm ready to help you.
That is one interesting shift that I have personally observed is that it doesn't matter anymore. Saturday isn't only for the salon owners and the out-of-towners, like you were mentioning the salon owners. Monday isn't only for the student day anymore, and everybody's trying to dump off whatever they have because they don't want to ship everything back.
And I thought Saturday was more the student day. Is that not the day the students come? Is it more Monday?
It's more Monday.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it used to be,
Well,
yeah, it
was.
used to be that day because, yeah, because they would have to go within school hours. So the buses would bring them in and out. And that's not really as much of the case anymore. Like I said, it's really very much, this is a 7 day a week industry now. So it's really based on, availability. So we still get questions of like, oh, is Saturday just show floor and Sunday, Monday is just education? No, it is all 3 days, 3 days of education. And then for those of us that are, based in Illinois and are or anyone who has a continuing education state, by having the availability to go all 3 days, then you have the availability to get your continuing education certificate, everything you need for the 2 year certification within the 3 days of the show.
Nice.
Yeah, it's so expanded, and the consistency of having all 3 days being independent 3 days, of themselves, it really does give you the opportunity to be able to catch a little bit of everything. Like Bernard, you were mentioning you went to that one hair loss convention show and there was so much going on that you actually missed out. You had to go back the following year because you missed out on so much the year that you went, right?
And I think that's great. I think that's surely going to happen here. There's no way we can make everything that she's how many did you say total educational
270.
opportunities?
275 plus, yeah.
I don't think anybody's doing that many in 3 days. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Obviously, you got to pick the ones that are most important to you, but it's a great marketing ploy for the show. The hairdressers have to come back next year to get the things they didn't get the last year.
I'll tell you though, I can't remember a year where there was that much education available. So that to me is freaking awesome.
No, we're excited about it. And the way that when I'm talking to people who want to come to the show and they may be a little overwhelmed and going, oh, what do I do? How much do I can't get it all in. I say, first thing you need to do is look at what are you lacking? What are you needing to learn? Would you like to learn a little bit more about, clipper cutting? Would you like to learn a little bit more about new foil placements? Search out the education of what you're finding your voids in your skill set. And then I call it build your Candyland. And build your schedule based on the classes that help you fill that void. And then it's like, okay, I'm going to go to this 9:30 class. I get done at 10:30, not another one till noon. So I'm going to go through the show floor, and talk to some people, do some stuff. But yeah, really look at what do you want to learn? What do you want to take away? Go into the app. You can fill out your schedule and it will notify you. It will give you directions. It will give you all of that. So you don't miss anything, but don't get overwhelmed with the fact that there's going to be, 200 and some classes going on. Go through and pick the ones that help you become the better person behind the chair that you want to be.
Wait, you're mentioning the app. What's the app?
Yeah, let's talk about that app. I remember there was a year when I was on this deep dive for hair extensions, and I took the old-fashioned paper brochure, and I highlighted every single thing that had something to do with hair extensions, whether it was a booth or a classroom. Then I looked and see which ones are at the same time. Oh, crap, I got to choose one. They're at the same time. And I made a decision, and then I went like a businessman instead of a hairdresser, and I went to every single hair extension thing. Then I did the kind of play in between where I had time, but it's a little more app driven now, right? Tell us about that.
And talk about the directions too, because I've done the same thing and I'm trying to get to 2201 and I end up in, I don't know, 1102 or something.
Yes. So what's awesome is, it's the America's Beauty Show app. And what's great about our app this year is that, I'll do my best to kind of throw it up there a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But you can search by exhibitor, by schedule. So what I recommend that people do is they go into the schedule and then they can search by the track. And our tracks are very delineated out. So we've got barber and grooming, business assets, hair care, hair color, lashes and brows, skincare, makeup show, waxing. You go in, you pick out, it'll show you dates, times, pick what you want, highlight it. It's got little stars, so you create your schedule.
Oh, great.
And so, yeah, you create your schedule, you save it, and then we have maps in there, but the great thing is about 3 to 5 days before the show, we'll drop our pins in so that if you are going to, a Here's the Bling class. And so you need to figure out where you're going from there. You got it saved. You click on it, you hit the pin. And if you're in the middle of the show floor, it's going to tell you the directions on how to get to that
Oh,
classroom.
you got GPS in the show. That is awesome.
So think of it like it's like Waze, but for the show. And
oh my God,
but it's great because, you know, and then you can even go in as far, there's a certain educator you want to see. So, you know, you click on, you know, Eddie, and Eddie's gonna, I want to see Eddie's classes. I click on Eddie as a speaker, and then the button right next to it is his sessions. And then it will list all the sessions that he's in. So you can do that by company, you could do it by brand, you can do it by educator, by, you know, by track. So it's a great opportunity. We also have maps in there, obviously, for the show floor, for the conference rooms. We have it for the whole entertainment district. For those of you that haven't been to Rosemont for a while, we have a full entertainment district complete with restaurants and bars and comedy clubs and bowling and indoor skydiving and you name it.
Wow.
So yeah, so the app is very robust. It also is, I mean, I prefer the education side of it, but obviously there's a show floor there. So you know, and it does the same thing with the show floor where the companies are. There's hyperlinks to their websites, to any specials they may be having. So that's all built in, and it's just going to be getting more robust. And I tell everyone really to utilize the app because it's an immediate update. So, you know, you send me an update to your class description or you want to swap out an educator, it'll be updated within 20 minutes of it going on there. So you can immediately, you know, go show your friends and lock everything in. So we've got a you know, everyone lives with their phone in front of their face these days. So we had to make sure that we had an app that met what all of us, you know, are used to.
That is so wild.
That is exciting. That's really exciting. So what's cool about that is this year, my wife and our social media director guy's wife are coming, and they do care. Well, we bring in a couple of kids too, and they care about the stuff outside the show, the entertainment. So this app goes further than hairdressers. It's going to help the families find things to do in the area. That is incredible.
Absolutely. And the entertainment district, it's all walking distance and it's all in a safe area. And it's great because, yeah, you can really stay within the grounds of the Rosemont Village and get everything that you want to do. So bring the friends, bring family. And especially we've got Global Image Awards this year on Saturday night, which is open. It is open to our industry, and we tell people to bring their friends and family, especially if you're a finalist and a winner. So there's your Saturday night for you. You know, come to Global Image Awards, see, you know, if you're a finalist, bring your friends and family. Or if you're attending, bring your friends and family. See who's going to win the award, see some great entertainment, have a great party at our president's party, and then, you know, roll right on over to that entertainment district.
So tell us, what time is that? Is there a cost? Can anyone just come?
Yep. So Global Image Awards are Saturday night. The reception starts at 6 o'clock. The awards start at 7. They will be done at 8:30 because that is how I run my stages.
She's like, that's it. Now everybody go to the bar.
That is it. Yes. Q to Q. We will start on time and we will end on time.
You don't have to go home. You can't stay here.
But you can't stay here, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Is there a cost?
So yeah, so there is zero cost.
Oh.
It is complimentary with your ABS show ticket, but also we know that people bring friends and family, especially if in their area. So this is open to anybody that wants to go. It's your time to have fun, get dressed up. You know, we'll have everyone there from coming straight off the show floor straight into it. Well, people that go back and get on their full, like, girls' night out, like, you know, the big heels, the whole thing.
That's Eddie.
And during the...
Sorry.
I say, do you prefer a 4-inch or a 6-inch stiletto?
6. I'm going for broke. I'm going for, if I'm doing it, I'm going for broke.
Yeah.
So what is it?
But no, I mean, we're going to have...
It's going
to be.
Where is it?
So it's an awards. So Global Image Awards has been around with ABS for ages. It went on a hiatus with COVID, so we're bringing it back for the first time in 3 years. So it's a photogenic or photographic competition. We are in the judging stages now. And what we will do is we'll present the winners of the 11 categories of this competition at ABS. So it is going to actually be on the runway on our main stage. So we're going to kind of drape off everything that's not the stage. So you'll party in the lobby. We're going to have a DJ spinning. We've got selfie booths. We've got bars. We've got step and repeats, interviews areas. We've got, you know, industry and non-industry celebrities coming in. So this is your time, you know, to get your picture taken. And so that'll be the first hour. And then we're going to open the doors. We'll have a full red carpet lined with, you know, finalist images, celebrating. This is America's Beauty Show's 100th anniversary in 2023. So, you know, they're, you know, the Hollywood sign and Disney are right up there with us now in 100 years. And so it'll be a celebration of the 100 years. We're going to have just an amazing entertainment, lots of music, lots of fun. You know, just we're celebrating the craft. We're celebrating our finalists and winners, and we're there to have a good time. You know, we're in the beauty industry. We're stylists. We like to have fun, you know. So it's going to be a long day on the show floor. We've got a couple long days after. So, you know, get dressed up, have a seat, take your fun swag bag with you, celebrate your winners, and still be out at an acceptable time to be on the show floor again in the morning.
That's cool
if I'm not,
that it's going to be
aging
on
myself.
the show floor.
It is. No, we're super excited.
Because it used to be in the theater down the street, and then, you know, you half the people would get lost trying to get to the theater.
Exactly. You know, and we moved some stuff around. So, if, you know, so actually the stage is right when you walk in the doors now. So it's right up close and personal with everyone as they come in. And yeah, it's everyone's there. If you're staying in a hotel, you're connected. If you are driving in and out, you've parked right across the street. So it gives you some time to maybe go grab a bite to eat and come back. But it's going to be a lot of fun. And I've seen the images as they're coming in, and they are absolutely breathtaking. And, you know, everyone will leave either inspired, excited. I can't wait to see who the winners are going to be. It's all done anonymously. You know, we don't know who's voting on what. So I'm pretty excited to see who's going to come out, but just seeing everything as they came in, you know, I was sitting there going, I wonder if I were to do this with my hair, if we could, you know,
That's exciting.
So you're going to have a different hairstyle when we see you at the show in 2 months.
Well, you know, it changes pretty frequently. I think I've had every color under the rainbow. I think we were talking the first time I got my hair colored, I've been coloring my hair for, 30, I'm going to date myself, 38 years now, 35 years. I got my hair colored the very first time when I was 7, and I've been coloring it ever since. Wow. All professional products, and it just goes to show, for what everyone says, if you do it right and you do it properly, you know,
you still have hair.
All is good.
You still have hair, you know,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
The red didn't kill you.
I had no choice.
You know?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I was a very much a blonde, and they took me red. So, and obviously it stuck because it's red again. But once you do that, you can't really grow that out. You got to keep it going.
Right. I did all blonde once. Some of the hairdressers have a picture of me on the wall in the back room. I'm like, where did you find this, guys? I got a little crazy with highlights one summer, went more and more blonde. And I loved it back then, but I look at it and think, I was ridiculous. I looked silly. But, you know, we're following the trends and the changes and having fun with it because we can. We're in the industry.
Yeah, well, it's your walk.
And that's the best.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's the whole part of the industry. You know, you get to have fun. I mean, I remember when, like the blues and all that came out. I was like, take me blonde. I want to be the first one in town with you know, the blue streaks and all of that. I mean, you got to play with your product, you know, and you got to put it out there. And I love it. I was always one who wanted to do the fun stuff. And whenever something new came into our warehouse, I was like, and that's going to go with me to the salon.
Yeah. So we got a bunch of hairdressers that may have not made a decision to go here yet. Let's talk a little bit about how how, why, and what it costs. Obviously, I think we got the why out there. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Mhm.
So we didn't say dates yet, did we? It's in April.
Oh,
Let's talk about
yes,
the dates
April
for this
15th.
show.
Yes, April 15, 16, and 17. So Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So, for those of us in the Midwest, yep, it's hopefully past all the weather. So, no, we are right now we are in our early bird pricing. So,
Okay.
$159 for a 3-day ticket.
Okay.
And that includes, if you are in a CE state, that includes your CE education is included.
Nice.
So that gets you in the door, that gets you your CE, that gets you to Global Image Awards. And then we also have a salon opportunity, which for, I believe it's $5.99, you can bring your entire staff. So that's a nice bonus as well. So as a salon owner,
for all 3 days.
Yep.
That's
a
nice.
nice
So those
package.
bigger salons could possibly save some money.
Yes. Yeah. So, and that's through March 15th. So after March 15th, we do have a jump, goes up about 30% after that. So get your tickets in now for sure. And we have great partners, Eddie with Hair's the Bling. If you go through their website, they've got a link there. And so come to us, go to your partners.
I think we'll have one in the description.
We have a
We'll
link
sure.
in. We'll put a link in the description. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I was gonna say, we don't care how your ticket comes in, just make sure you get your ticket to come to the show.
Right.
So, and that's also then part of the reason, because we do have a good amount of people who travel in, which is really exciting. And being right next to O'Hare Airport allows that, so you can fly in Saturday morning and get to the show for Saturday afternoon and not have to give up a whole day of travel. So that's an added bonus as well. So
O'Hare's the better airport.
Oh yeah, O'Hare Airport is right there.
Yeah.
It's 10-15 minutes away.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
right there.
Am I right when I
Yeah,
count 8 weeks? 8 weeks is the Thursday before the show starts.
8 weeks.
8 weeks from today.
no pressure. Yes.
Yeah, right. That sounds about right. Yeah.
Enough time for people to start rescheduling. Reschedule some clients and make it. It's worth it.
Absolutely. Yes. No, we're excited. Like I said, people are excited to come back to shows, and we're excited to have them back. And the questions are just rolling in, and who's going to be there? What can we do? And so it's like, go to that app, see who's going to be there, and, figure out your schedule, because there's going to be more than you can do in 3 days. I mean, our goal is for you to leave and go, okay, make sure I get my ticket for next year, because I didn't get everything in this year.
Now, it used to be where the aesthetics, nails was like the spa section was across the hall. Sometimes it was in a different wing. Is it all within the same area this year? How has that changed?
Yep. Everything is within the same area on the same level this year when it comes to the trade show floor. So we've got a skincare area. We've got over, I think we have over 80 skincare beauty brands this year. We've got nails. We partnered with the makeup show. So the makeup show has their own show within a show with us this year as well. So we've got all of those areas all on the same show floor. So you don't have to go up the escalators, outside, up into the lobby, up the escalators. The only time you're going to have to go up onto the second floor is for education. We have so much education. We have taken the first floor, the second floor, and the ancillary wing for education this year. But the entire show floor is all in the same place. We also have this great area. It's called our What's Next area, and it's for new and emerging brands, where they've got a small area where they can talk about their products and do some demos. And we've got 24 brands in there that are new to the industry and will be showcasing at the show. But yeah, no more going upstairs, outside, around the corner. It's all pick which door you want to go into the show, and you can see everything without having to walk back outside.
So I know that we will make some people mad because we won't name their brand, but that's the risk we're going to take. I want to know what are some of those new exciting things that, as you're selling education or preparing and getting ready for it, what is new and exciting that to our industry? Because I'm curious also.
I can talk about what's new and exciting on my education front, obviously, but it connects back to the brands, and what I'm really excited about is we've got a a turn of not only, I want to say, not only talking about products and technique, but also a huge push on, wanting to make sure that we have the opportunity that our industry is already incredibly inclusive. We are diverse. This is something that's ingrained in our industry that you don't see everywhere else. And what we're seeing now is that a lot of the brands in the education are putting that out there. And whether it's in their products, in their marketing, in their education. And so we've got a focus on inclusion and diversity. We've got an inclusion of mental health and wellness. I think these are things that especially came out of the pandemic, for us in our industry we are these touch, feel people, and we just spent how long not being able to do that, and it takes a toll on you.
Yeah, Bernard was really hurt because he couldn't touch anything.
I did a live video on mental health a few weeks ago, and it's been the most engaged with video I've ever done. I didn't realize so many people were hurting, and we're open and honest to talk about it.
It was amazing. A guest speaker on there too talking about it. Remember, we had Giovanni on talking about mental health as well.
Yeah, we're doing a panel. It's called "Come as You Are," and it's very much about that. It's about come as you are. It doesn't matter what your background is, what your role is in the industry, what your role is in your bubble that you live in within your group. It's Ammon Carter and Jamie DeGracia and Jack Howard and Cheetah Bisau. And, we've got some great people who are talking about what's happening above and beyond just what happens behind the chair, because it is all connected. And then as I'm sitting here with my app pulled up right here so I can give specifics on some things. But there are, we've got I don't want to say the tried and true. We've got there's the big brands that are going to be there. You'll see the big booths. You'll see all that. Quite a few products coming out now that are more for different textures of hair. That's a huge one right now. We're also seeing a big switch with, extensions have always been popular. Extensions are massively growing right now, but also in the idea of using it for, hair loss replacement, and not just using it to put a piece of pink in, or for me to say, I'd really like my hair to be about 6 inches longer. So utilizing the brands and the products and the different crafts that we've had in the past, but we're seeing ways that it's being used differently this year, which I think is kind of exciting.
That is our specialty. Bernard educates heavily on hair replacement. Bernard and I both educate very heavily on the use of hair extensions above and beyond just doing length or just doing, we still teach how to do length, and we still teach how to do fun pieces. But just like you're describing, it really has evolved. It's far beyond its original thing.
I'm so wrong. We didn't make anybody mad because you're so good at this. You didn't name any.
No, she's good. I told you she's good. There's one thing also though. Another thing, Jessi, that initially when I was speaking to you, and I'm not sure if I'm jumping ahead of myself or not, when I was initially speaking to you about getting in with education with the show, one of the things you had mentioned, which caught my attention, was in addition to doing hair and makeup and spa, services and stuff, there is also a lot of business classes and a lot of other social networking, social media type classes.
Social media training. Yep.
Social media training.
So yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we have quite a bit we have a couple of classrooms that are actually just dedicated to the business side. It's twofold. One, it's just a little bit of a different setup. You need the tables in front of you. You don't want to be taking notes, on your lap and stuff like that. So, we have a couple of different business opportunities. We've got some software programs companies are going to be there talking about how to, leverage, whether it's scheduling in your point of sale system, because a lot of what we're finding now in the industry, it's a transition it's been a slow roll, but now, the snowball is running down. in a good way, depending on how they're utilizing it, is that a lot of people who worked in the traditional commission-based salons have left and they're going into salon suites. They're going independent, but the marketing and the business acumen and how to process credit cards and pay your state sales tax.
We talk about that all the time.
All of that is something that you don't realize sometimes that your owner or owners are doing, that you're now responsible for. Mm-hmm. Or like the one thing that I see quite a bit, and it just kind of like, I get it, but it just kills me a little, is I'm charging $150 for my service, and my salon owner says it includes tip. I go up by myself and I reduce my cost. I reduce my service by $50 and then say, but you can tip on top of it. It's like, realizing that you have to, it's not just about the dollars and cents. It is understanding how the business side of it works. And so we've got several classes that are dedicated to that. We have, for those of us in Illinois, we have to have sexual harassment training every year. So we have those classes that are available, but it's important information to have, not just for the state of Illinois. I think it really is for everyone who works in the industry. So If you've got an hour, please step in. It's good information. It helps you recognize certain things when you're talking to your client, because it's probably one of the few times that they can get away from their significant other or whatever situation they're in, where they're not going to be right there with them.
That's great.
It really is an important piece to have. But we also have some great opportunities with, like we said, social media. I mean, I think I'm on top of it, and I know I'm 30 steps behind, but it is the primary method of marketing and advertising in our industry now. So it's figuring out, it's not just about making a video. It is, as I joked earlier, talked about influencers versus content creators. It is about creating content. So there are a ton of classes this year on how to create content versus just making a post. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, I think still, and even LinkedIn. I mean, those are ones that it's not just about posting and reposting. It's about, you can post something, but then it's the engagement. It's who likes it. It's who comments. And if you don't comment back, that hurts your levels. So it's about not only what you post, but how you manage it. And how many businesses now have social media staff. And that's their sole purpose now, is managing their marketing and advertising through social media and responding to comments, responding to DMs. I mean, before I came in with ABS, I had my own business, and like it would tell me on Facebook, your time of response has gone from 1 hour to 3 hours. And those are the things you have to pay attention to, and those are the things that we'll be teaching.
That's good. That is really good. The guy that I was going to hire, I decided to partner with him. He's really good at social media in his own business. So we started a little side social media business for him to help us with the educational side of our personal distributorship. And he was so excited. He wrote what he calls a memorandum, and it's called the Rules of Engagement, because engagement is so important in social media. He said, you've got a lot of people trying to do it, but they're just not answering correctly at the right time. They're not answering with the right format. So I thought it was kind of cute, because in war, obviously there's rules of engagement, mm-hmm. but engagement there means shooting people. Here it just means talking to people, communicating with people. And so it was neat for him, just some of the simple little rules. I don't want to give it all away because he is valuable. And some of the simple little rules was, the very first one was, answer every single person that comments in your posts or ask a question. Even if they don't ask a question, engage with them. And I think it seems like common sense, but if I go back and even look at my own personal profile, when somebody said, nice picture, love the form your kid did in karate, I was just like, oh, that was nice. I didn't realize that Facebook in the algorithm is saying, if you thank them and then they thank you back, or you communicate somewhat, that says, oh, these people are important to each other. Let's show them each other's stuff more, which then translates into more friends, which translates into more business. And so the rules of engagement was how to answer people, how often to answer, when to use emojis, when to use GIFs. And I was like, okay, I didn't get all this. This is good. This is good. Yeah. So I like that you're going to have all of that. That's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it makes such a difference.
So God, I think we covered, what did we not cover? Eddie, you got any more questions?
Yeah, I was going to ask is, okay, so then Saturday night is the award ceremony. Is there any other events beyond the award ceremony that's happening during the show?
So under the ABS umbrella, that is our primary. That's our Saturday night thing. Sunday night we have rented out. It's called Joe's Live. It's an amazing concert venue over in the entertainment district.
Oh, that's cool.
We have rented that out for Saturday night, or for Sunday night. I apologize. It's free admission with your ABS ticket. I think it's $5 if you aren't with ABS. So if you want to bring a spouse, family, friends. And we have hired an amazing, this is like my personal favorite cover band from the Chicago area.
Oh,
and
good.
So we've hired, they're called Two Hype Crew. They are a 90s and 2000s hip hop cover band. So, you know, going to my demographic, but also not just mine. I mean, complete with the fly girls and the dancers.
Sounds great.
So
Eddie won't like it at all, but sounds great to me.
No, Bernard. So, like, okay, you know, when we go down on Bourbon Street, you can. So, but Bernard is in New Orleans.
I'm from the New Orleans area.
So,
I love it. I was just down there about a month ago.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So when you're walking down Bourbon Street, you know, you could go into the bars and they just have bands playing in the bars all the time. It's not something that you get up here in Chicago, in the Chicagoland area, right? So Rosemont Village, like the city of Rosemont in general, has expanded and does wonders year over year over year. And it's really turned into a little mecca in the suburbs, in the Chicagoland area. And it's really a great place to go to, and it's a fun time to hang out. So having that bar, and then you know, being able to bring in the cover band for that, it's like having a fun time on Bourbon Street, you know, but in Illinois.
That's cool.
Yeah. So no, and they're awesome. I mean, and it's a great way, whether you're an exhibitor, an attendee, you know, come on in. I think we're opening the doors at 7 or 7:30. I'll have to verify that with you guys. The band goes on 8 to 10, and they'll have the dance floor open, the bars will be open, there'll be food, there'll be, you know, it's just a great opportunity. And there are other ancillary events going on. You know, we have great partnerships with Beauty Changes Lives and Unite as One and some different groups that will be doing their own events that we partner with them on, but the details of that are still to come.
Okay.
And most of us stylists were never going to read enough to learn all of this. This video is so invaluable. So valuable. I'm going to make every one of the people I know go, and all my hairdressers watch this video. My wife and the people we're going with, because they're gonna be like, "Hey, we're going to both of those parties. We didn't know about that. Why didn't you tell us, Bernard?" Well, because I didn't think about it.
Right. It's not my music. You know, my wife will be all over
download the app, watch this video. What else are we missing? Is there anything else that, any other highlights about this whole weekend that people should know?
I mean, I think one of the big ones is, we covered most of it. I mean, the big thing is, and I kind of brushed past it, but it is huge. It's the 100th anniversary of America's Beauty Show in 2023. I mean, and that's 100 years of being a beauty show for the beauty industry, presented by the beauty industry. We are still owned by Cosmetology Chicago. We are a membership-based organization. We are a nonprofit that all of our money goes back to the industry. So nice. I think that really is something that sets us apart from some of the other shows that are happening in our industry. And as the industry has evolved, is we are still developed by the industry for the industry. And we have been that way for the show for 100 years, for Cosmetology Chicago, even longer than that. So, I mean, all of our advertising and marketing is glitz and glamour and gold and silver because we're celebrating 100 years this year. you know, it's the only time we're going to experience that in our lifetime. So we want to celebrate it. So
No, that is
That's
definitely
cool.
a
you know, so you'll be.
landmark. This is a landmark show.
Mhm.
Yes, that's exciting.
It really is. And we're pulling out all the bells and whistles that we can. So, you know, there's going to be activations that are still, you know, that are going to be surprises that you have to be there to experience. But we have some fun things that are going to be popping up throughout the show. Yeah, you can't give it all away. You got to give a little bit for, you know, people to
You're
come to the
so
show and
good at
see. And,
this.
you know,
It's
not my
exciting.
first rodeo.
Yeah, right.
That is
No,
exciting.
No, but I'm excited because it is, and I joke about this, but this is my first year with America's Beauty Show as, you know, on being a member of the America's Beauty Show team, which is really exciting. I'm a born and bred beauty baby, and so my whole life has been around this. And I've been an exhibitor. I was an exhibitor for years at the show, so it's super exciting to be on this side of it as well, and just being part of the planning and seeing what people are going to experience and having a hand in that along with our team.
Nice.
So we have to do a
that
shout
hour
out to
flew-
Jessi.
Yes.
So Jessi, you know, really quick, because Bernard doesn't realize, and maybe some of the viewers don't realize,
Tell us who she
your
is.
name and really who you are and who your family is and what contribution
tell
your
us.
family has done to the industry.
All right. So yeah, I mean, I wasn't joking when I said born and bred beauty baby. Jessi Marshall, fourth generation in the beauty industry. My great grandfather opened a barber shop in Dixon, Illinois, back in 1932. He got frustrated with, you know, going through a bunch of stuff, not being able to get his product at the quality that he wanted. So he started manufacturing. So we started with Marshall Barber Supplies in the 30s, and he created that and kept that going. And my grandfather came into the picture and realized that the industry was growing beyond that of the barber world. Actually, the barber union at that time, I don't know, most people probably don't know this, or they do. If a woman wanted to get her hair cut more than an inch, she had to go to a barber shop because the barber union was so strict. It wouldn't allow non-union members to cut hair.
Wow.
So that broke, and cosmetology started evolving. So my grandfather went and got his cosmetology license, and which at 6'7", I'm sure was an interesting, you know, interesting to see him going through the process. And he transferred us over from manufacturing into distribution, and then that became Marshall Salon Services. And my father took that over in the 80s. And then I came in after college and started working with the company. Well, started well before that. I was working in the booths at our shows at a very young age because, as my father says, he's like, who's going to say no to the 5-year-old that's wanting to sell you $600 shares? You know, benefit of a family business. You get put in there. You got to work young. But no, and then so I was. Yep, fourth generation. And then we were acquired in 2010. So stepped away from the distribution side after 78 years and went to work for the Professional Beauty Association and did education and events for them for a little over 8 years. And then took a brief hiatus from beauty, and then that didn't last long. And I got pulled back in. And the folks at ABS brought me in August of this year. So I'm really excited. It's really, when you think about it, where I started when it comes to trade shows and stuff like that. I was fortunate to have great mentors that taught me production and AV and all of that. Actually, they would teach me at the Midwest show at the time. So, but yeah, no, fourth generation, 78 years within our family business. So it's been a fun road, and I'm so excited that I'm back in it full time again. And I think my boss loves it too, because he got an employee and a half, because my dad hasn't quite been able to like step away. So now that I'm back in it, I keep getting like the emails and like, did you see about this? And did you see about this? And
yeah,
I'm like, that's great, Dad. That's the email that I sent out to everybody. You don't need to send it back to me.
That's great.
Once you're in this industry, you never get out, you know?
Yeah.
No,
It's good that you got
don't.
out long
And so I've
enough
been,
just to not feel burnt out. You got that little break, so you're back and excited.
Yeah, her whole break was 1
yes,
month.
yeah. Yeah. No, I stepped away. I actually opened a restaurant, which, you know what? The beauty industry, I came bounding back after being in the restaurant industry. So, yes.
I don't know if you're running
Um,
to something or from something.
yeah. But yeah, so, but yeah, no, it was like, you know, when we started this, it's great. You know, you're reconnected with people that you worked with before. And yeah, it does. It gives you, having that little bit of separation has been nice, because I look at the industry in a little bit broader way. And when you take a step away, so it's been a lot of fun to be back in it, and, you know, having opportunities like this, you know, and partnering with people and just being back in with my people again.
Yeah, this is exciting. I don't think we've gone a whole hour with anybody in a long time, and it passed so fast.
So fast. So fast.
Yeah.
There's no filler. I mean, it is just information after information
So
after
much
information.
good information.
But that's the hair show. That's how much things is happening at the America Beauty Show coming up
it's
in
gonna be
April.
fun.
So, you know, what is it? 15, 16, and 17, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep, April 15, 16, 17. Doors open at 11 o'clock on Saturday, and we run through 4 o'clock on Monday. So 3 days. You can get a 1-day ticket for $59.99, but I highly recommend the 3-day. Even if you only go a day and a half, you're going to get your money's worth out of it.
Oh, for sure. Between the show, the ceremony, the party on Saturday, all the education hours that you get included with that as well, too. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Absolutely.
It's an absolute no-brainer. All right,
Thank you so
Bernard, any
much.
closing thoughts?
I want to go to the show now.
Oh, I want to go to. All right, I want to go to the show. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. The link is in the description below. Check us out. If you have any questions, please reach out to the show. Jessi will contact you, or somebody else will contact you.